playing with a list, we're calling our list items, and we want to add more than one item to the list. So we understood how to use append to add exactly one thing. What happens if we try to append, for instance, chips and ice cream? Um, well, that blows up. It says append takes exactly one argument, but we gave it two. So what happened to items? Well, it has the same contents, nothing's been added, and this threw an exception. Okay, so we can't add we have to add exactly one argument at a time. So there's got to be a way to add more than one item. I know there must be. So um, let's see, if we're supposed to give exactly one argument, maybe we're supposed to give it a list. So we could create another list inside of this. And so now we'll be appending a new list that contains chips and ice cream. Well, that didn't blow up, so maybe it worked. I would think that there should be three items now. So I should say the length of items is equal to 3. That's false. What is the length of the items? It's 2. What's in items now? Check that out. Items has 2 elements. The first element is the string sandwiches. The second element is the list that we added, which is chips and ice cream. And so this goes to highlight something about Python lists is that they are not homogeneous. They do not have to hold the same thing at each of the elements does not have to be the same type of data. So it could be a list of strings, it could be a list of numbers, it could be a list of strings and numbers. Here we have a list that contains a string and then a list. And then that list contains a list of strings. So you can put whatever you like in lists. This is not necessarily a good thing. There are a lot of things that you might want to do with lists that work a lot better when every element is the same, but it's not a requirement in Python. So this hasn't worked. Let's go back and make items equal to just the single sandwiches. So we've reset items, and we still want to figure out how to add chips and ice cream. So over here, we can go into our help, let's say help on list, and there's a method called extend. Okay, so extend the list by adding elements from the iterable. This is a word that we're going to come across several times, many times in this book. An iterable is anything that can be iterated, something that you can iterate over, something that you can visit each element in that thing. A list is iterable. There are a number of elements. They are kept in order. You can visit each one. So a list is an iterable. So let's go back and change that items append to items extend. And now I would expect that the length of, I can say assert, that the length of items is equal to 3. That is true. What is in items? It now has 3 elements. So more than anything, I'm wanting to introduce you to the idea of how you can play with the language using the REPL and how you can challenge yourself to think about how a certain thing should work, and you could try it out in real time and then use some elements of testing to verify that you're getting what you think you're getting.